Ashutosh, earlier in one of your reports, one very special feature that you brought to us, and that's not a feature of the train per se, but you were telling us how this also brings about a boost to women. How I say that is what you were telling us is some of the, in fact, majority parts of the drivers who will be operating these very trains will be women, and you spoke to some of them as well. And in fact, one of the first trains being operated by two female drivers, if I'm not wrong. If you could just take us through that very information in a bit more detail.
80%.
80%. Okay, yes, just take us through the details.
80%, Shreya. 80% of the rapid rail staff will be women. So that's when I see the women, when we talk about women empowerment, it remains only a symbolic. In fact, one of the coach where we are, this is actually reserved for the women. But since it's an operational day, inauguration day, one can forgive us because we are also bringing the reports and also showing how beautiful it has been designed, incredibly designed, the interior part. So this is reserved for the women. So the rapid rail will have one whole reserves, the coach for the women. And beyond that, that's a non-premium category of the coaches compartments. So the train, most of the driver, in fact, 80% of not only the train, in fact, the ticket vending machine and the other operational part of this area, 80% will be women. So that actually defines women empowerment in a great sense. Most of these workers, in fact, few of these security persons, the operating staff are on board, and we are in a woman coach. In fact, the coaches are being logged because for any minutes from now, the train is going to depart, and probably I'll be the first passenger, other than the Prime Minister, since he's boarding from the first point of Meerut, and I'm at the first point of Delhi. So since he has already taken a ride, he has inaugurated the project, I'll be the probably first passenger to board this train from Sarai Kale Khan and to onwards Ashok Nagar, or see if I could reach even Meerut as well. But 6 p.m. onwards, Shreya and viewers, you all are free. Take tickets, buy your QR scanner, scan your tickets, take the ride up. This is literally incredible in terms of what we see, the train, the transportation mediums, certain elevated area, underground areas, and the landscape, because I have, through the road stretches I have traveled to that pocket, the landscape itself is beautifully done. And when you have a larger windows like this, of course, it is going to be a marvelous visual optics all around when you'll travel from Delhi to Meerut. The 45 to 50 minutes of this ride of this metro train or the Namo Bharat train is going to be incredible for everyone.
Right, Ashutosh. Definitely. This indeed, not just in terms of technology, we see an upgrade in all possible ways with this particular railway corridor that's in fact being launched and inaugurated by the Prime Minister. I'm sure the people there are also eagerly waiting for that address to begin. Ashutosh, just to ask you one thing, and this I want to know personally from you. You've been bringing to us all these features about the particular coaches. What would you see? What would you say at this point is one of those features that struck you the most in these coaches? One thing that you would say that this really symbolizes Viksit Bharat that we keep speaking of, that this government keeps in fact speaking of, their vision, their motto. What would that one feature be if you were to sum it up for the day?
Well, I would say, Shreya, leave the slogans for the government. We as a journalist, we always, seeing upgradation of the infrastructure. And over the time, things have always done in the past, and it has a constant process. One thing that you give a credit to the current government, that within 11 years of this governance, most of the front, particularly in the sector of infrastructure, we have this tremendously growth and incredible growth in terms of enhancement of infrastructure. Within 7 years, as I say, it's amazingly, incredibly done. Within 7 years, 82 kilometers of the corridor, and such upgradation of the transportation connectivity Meerut. And I remember till the Delhi-Meerut highway was not built, it used to take 4 to 5 hours just to travel 60-70 kilometers. Now we travel in less than an hour. And when you talk about the train, of course, the premium class that I would say is amazingly, because this is reserved for the women, but the premium category of them, you have the mobile charger, you have the laptop charger, incline seat, foot stand, magazine holder, and the food dispensing machine. If I have to travel with my family, my child, if you need some beverages, chips, cold drinks, everything is provided. In fact, that's the premium coach, which has now been logged. The train is actually anytime is movable, so we are just on a standby. So the premium class indeed is something worth visiting. But at the same time, the upgradation in the other coaches, because I would see when the bullet trains, or I have traveled in the countries like Rome, in Korea, in Japan, in London, other places, when we see such kind of metro stations operational, clearly they look exactly similar. You have the Vista Dome. I mean, those coaches are totally designed a different pattern. This is largely for the commuters. When you have a white, the glasses, clearly visible things when you operate. And I could see during the monsoon, it will give amazingly visual optics for the commuters traveling. But for now, since we're only talking about connectivity, more important, comfortable, luxurious, time reducing, and at the same time, when you talk about climate perspective, of course, the carbon emission reduction. But of course, there are a lot of things by the government that need to be done, particularly the Delhi-Meerut highway, and when it comes to NCR pockets like Ghaziabad and Greater Noida. But for now, it's a great start. This is the day when the entire stretch is going to be inaugurated, the Meerut Metro to the Delhi part of this rapid rail, and all this sort going done after 6 p.m. onwards will also see the experience of the people, commuters, and who all going to be, traveling through the train. But I would say for the business communities, number of the people, those who are using their private cars, need not to travel anymore through the cars. This is really a great idea going to be taking this metro. So, the budget, the affordable, leave your vehicles, and comfortable journey.
Right, Ashutosh, and we will leave it at that. And we have, in fact, exhaustively brought all details about these very trains to our viewers.